Hey, Viking fans, here is my preview of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Minnesota Vikings, September 10th. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Gather around, Skull brothers and sisters. This is Skull World, brought to you by Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at Skull World. Make sure you hit subscribe. Hulk smash the like button. Let's get going. Ring that bell even. All right. Here's what we're talking about. We're talking about a preview of the Minnesota Vikings versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. How I think they're a more formidable matchup than people think. People think these guys are not going to be a playoff contender. They have a roster. They have a decent roster. They have a capable quarterback, and we'll find out why a little bit. But there's turmoil over there. There's the loss of Tom Brady. There's not knowing what direction they're going to go. They put in a quarterback competition, and I'm going to tell you, Baker Mayfield came away unscathed and ready to play. And I think they're working within his boundaries. But let's get started. I'm going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and right away we're going to talk about Mike Evans. Now, Mike Evans, it looks like he is given a deadline of September 9th, which is the night of Skullfest. Make sure you attend that Skullfest in Northeast Palace in Minneapolis. Make sure you're there. We're going to have a good time. It's Skullfest 2023. Email me for details at mnsportspodcast@gmail.com if you have any questions. Or hit me up on Twitter, DM me, whatever. DM me. I'll tell you where to go. We're going to have fun. But we're all going to be there. The Purple and Scold media, all of us that follow that or belong to that, we're going to be there. So be there. All right. But the Buccaneers got a deadline of September 9th, day before the game. Let's pull up that article really quick. Let's actually pull that up. Mike Evans' agent, September 9th deadline and contract talks with the Buccaneers. Mike Evans' agent set a deadline on negotiating a new contract for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers star receiver. A lengthy statement released in the NFL Network insider Garofalo. Evans' agent, Derek Gilmore, said he would cut off contract talks next Saturday, September 9th, a day before the season starts. Evans is entering the final year of his contract. Despite our efforts over the last 2 years and the professionalism of the Bucs general manager Jason Litch and assistant general manager Mike Greenberg, we have not received an offer to stay in Tampa. Gilmore said in the statement, "This is disappointing to Mike as he sees other teams step up to keep key pieces and players that are important to their organization. Many players with this status would have held out of camp to not risk injury, but Mike has continued practicing hard, as always, because he puts his team first. When you have a player that will be a Hall of Famer and still has 4 to 6 more years to make his impact in the league, you move heaven and earth to keep him on your team, and we would hope ownership feels the same way." Gilmore underscored Evans' desire to play his entire career in Tampa and highlighted the record-setting play of the perennial Pro Bowler heading into the year 10 with the club. Evans recording 1,000-plus receiving yards in each of his 9 seasons, the longest active streak in the NFL, and tied for the second longest such streak all time. Jerry Rice, 11 straight seasons. Evans, 10, 425 receiving yards and 81 touchdowns, each rank in the top 3 in the NFL since entering the league in 2014. Evans is one of the 5 players all time to have 10,000 plus receiving yards and 80 plus receiving TDs through his first 9 seasons in the NFL. The others are all Hall of Famers: Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, Marvin Harrison, Calvin Johnson. We have been working on extending Mike's career with the Bucs for over a year, and we want the fans to know this is not a tactic, and the ball is in the owner's court. Gilmore's statement continued that said, "We are giving the Bucs until the start of regular season to make him a Buck for life, and if that cannot happen, 100% of Mike's focus will be on football and his future, where he can contribute to make an impact." Gilmore's statement comes after Rick Stroud, Tampa Bay Times, reported Thursday that contract contract talks were in an impasse, and Evans was headed toward a final year with the Buccaneers. An agent playing the deadline card signifies the likelihood that sides aren't close in talks. Evans currently makes 16.5 million per year on his contract, not chump change, by the way. With the wide receiver market exploding since he inked the contract in 2018, Evans is the 17th highest paid at the position. Evans camp reportedly wants a deal similar to the 3-year 80.1 million Pat Cooper Cup signed last year. The Bucs are going through a transition season, might not want to pay that coin to a 30-year-old receiver. One question is whether Gilmore's September 9th deadline is more a season or in totality. Given franchise tagging Evans would cost the Bucs 28.43 million in the 2024, the star would seem destined to hit the open market. As Gilmore underscored, Evans has done nothing to rock the boat this offseason. He showed up to camp and participated. He's been a model employee. Now his agent has taken hold of the helm, flipped a Yui, and is piloting the boat into choppier waters. Deadline action spurs the deadline spur action, so the maneuver from Gilmore could work. Perhaps it gets ownership attention and contract comes to fruition. Perhaps the statement piques the interest of wide receiver needy teams who would be comfortable paying Evans asking price, and the Bucs welcome the chance to trade the wideout before losing him next year. Surely a smart shark will make call to check, or perhaps nothing happens and deadline passes. Evans' future hovers over Tampa for the rest of the season. This doesn't sound like a holdout, guys. So it sounds like he's playing. It's just going to be under less than favorable conditions. I think Buccaneers probably aren't wanting to pay him $30 million a year because of his age and potential for major drop off. I do agree those stats and the fact that he has a Super Bowl does look favorably on him in the Hall of Fame. Uh, but I think it's probably a smart move to if you guys think you can win now, right now with your roster, having him play out the season, great. And if you don't, if you're looking at the trade deadline of being like, you know, a losing record and doesn't look like you're going to make the playoffs, although you have a weak division, then trade him. But that division is probably the weakest in the league. So go ahead and keep him. Try to win the division. You're going to lose him next year. No big deal. But do test the waters and trade value. It just makes sense for the Buccaneers. But hey, I like controversy going into a game where we're about to play them, and having that all lead up right before the game is favorable on our part. Now we got Buck center Ryan Jensen goes on the IR out for 2023 season. This was a week ago. Tampa Bay Buccaneers replacing Pro Bowl center Ryan Jensen on season-ending injured reserve because of a knee injury he suffered in training camp last year. The team announced Saturday night. So they replacing him with Buccaneers center Robert Hainsey. He was a tackle at Notre Dame. He's moved around the line. They ended up starting him at center last year. He did have a hamstring injury in the week 18 early in the game, and he sat out the rest of the game. He's listed as questionable for us, which means he's playing, and they don't have another center on the really a decent center on the depth chart. He is a adequate replacement. He's like a 65 PFF grade all around, according to PFF. He did start at center last year after Jensen went down. I saw an interview, and he's known as a really heady player, a real smart player. Everybody's saying that on in the media in the Buccaneers side, but he's not Jensen, and he knows that, and he's not trying to be. But they have an adequate replacement. They have a Garrett Bradbury basically, but he has starting experience, so it's not. And he did play last year, and honestly, they were already. It was tough for Jensen to continue, so they're putting him on the IR the rest of the year. So that was one thing that the Vikings looked like they were going to get an advantage. They may, because Jensen was a Pro Bowl type player.
Even Hainsey says he was a top 2 corner or a top 2 center that they lost, and it's tough to replace him. So that does it does go to the Vikings a little bit of the advantage that they're going to have a center, but he's 6'4", 306. He's only 25 years old, out of Notre Dame. He was a round 3 pick, and he was picked as a tackle. Next, Baker Mayfield. People really always down on Baker Mayfield. He was killing it for the Browns when he got hurt and played with the injury, and that cost him his career. He's also coming off his parents apparently maybe swindling $12 million from him. I don't know much about that story. Go check it out. But in our context, he walked away with a starting job, even though they labeled it as a competition. Preseason stats, he was 14 for 15, 93% completion percentage for 106 yards, 7.5 yards per attempt, 2 TDs, 1 interception, and 135.7 quarterback or rating. Not QBR, but quarterback rating. 135.7. So fair numbers. What I can tell you is I looked at the QB school breakdown of this. He broke down the third game, and it looks like the offense is centered around him on short passes and letting players run. The only longer pass was the touchdown that he threw, which was basically, I think, a seam route between a corner and a safety, and nice throw, a really nice throw. But and he was 6 for 6 in a touchdown that drive, but all his throws were like 5 yards or less, except for that touchdown, which was like 10 to 12 yards or something like that. So it really looks like it's not geared to be an explosive offense. Again, he's not necessarily playing with all the starters or whatever, but hey, that's a little bit towards our advantage. That he's not going to be throwing it downfield. We got burned deep a lot last year. However, it's a new defense. Us confusing him, making him throw the wrong route, will hopefully help us. It's just that Baker Mayfield looks solid. They're going to be fine with Baker Mayfield. I know people are down on him, but the kid can play. He shouldn't have been number 1 overall or anything like that. But hey, if he's not, I think he's going to be in the top 15, if not top 12, or, borderline top 12 quarterback this year. He's got weapons. He's got a squad around him. I'm thinking this team could win their division again. It's just that, a lot of people are down on Baker Mayfield. I just like the fact that they're not going to be that explosive of an offense. Now, apparently, they got a pretty good running back, but I'm only really talking about a few things today. I didn't want to go too in depth, but the defense. Let's talk about the defense. We got that's Antoine Winfield. Their preseason stats. Oh, I missed. Sorry, it should be defensive stats for the 2023 season. So bad graphic. Sorry, I forgot to change the heading. Passing 10th, rushing 15th, turnover 23rd, points 15th. All right. So again, let's go through that again. The passing was 10th in the league. Rushing was 15th in the league last year. Turnovers 23rd, and points 15th. This was an average defense last year. Now let's go to an article written about this. And this is Antoine Winfield being interviewed. Tampa Bay Buccaneers stud safety Antoine Winfield Jr. says the Bucs' goal for the defense this year is to be the number 1 defense. All right, why not? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense in 2022 didn't really live up to expectations. The defense, who once viewed as one of the league's elite, especially when it came to run, settled in somewhere around the middle of the pack last season, and they struggled with stopping the run and found it tough to create any turnovers on the side of the ball. After playing less than ideally in 2022, the Buccaneers defense will look to bounce back in 2023, and with a number of guys back in the fold, including franchise safety Antoine Winfield Jr., the Bucs defense should improve. Antoine Winfield Jr. will be entering his contract season with the team, but it appears both Winfield and Buccaneers are interested in reuniting once Winfield's contract expires. For Winfield, he not only has high expectations and goals for himself, but for the Bucs defense as a whole. And Winfield Jr. spoke on the goals he was playing in the Buccaneers secondary and defense. Goals as a defense, we want to be the number one defense this year. We've got that talent around us to do that. So that's the number one priority, to be the number one defense. Winfield explained. Outside of that, for me personally, touching the ball more man interceptions. I gotta get my interceptions up. It's a contract year. I'm happy. I'm excited. So making sure I touch that ball and stay healthy. Those are the two big goals: creating takeaways and just staying healthy for real. Big team player, this guy. I want to get my contract numbers up. Okay. Turnovers are an important part of, and we all love him. He's a buck. We wanted to draft him. We're disappointed. We ended up drafting Gladney, and then he got drafted later by the Buccaneers. Turnovers are an important part of the NFL game, and for the Buccaneers in 2023, they will need to be more aggressive attacking the ball than they were in 2022, as they likely won't be able to rely on the offense as much with the departure of future first ballot Hall of Famer Tom Brady no longer leading the charge. As for Winfield Jr.'s part in the Bucs defense in 2023, he will be returning to his old position at free safety in Todd Bowles' defense. I'm happy, quotes, I'm happy that my main position, free safety, being in the middle of the field, is doing everything that way. I'm happy, and especially in the system, it's very complex. I hate when people say defenses are complex. That means they're confused. They don't know how to run it. That's what last year people were saying. Complex defense. No, it's not. So it's cool just to be able to focus on the free safety role as far as moving around. With defense retaining much of the power and name recognition they had in the past, the ceiling for the Bucs defense could arouse the number one defense league talk. However, until they show growth from last season, will continue to get overlooked. Now, the advantage we got is that, you know, it's early in the season and maybe they haven't figured it out yet. So I'm pretty happy with that. I expect us to win. I expect us to keep Baker Mayfield and that offense contained. I feel a little bit better I'm not feeling better that Baker Mayfield looked good in the preseason. I am looking better is that doesn't look like it's a attack down the field type offense. And I think they're going to try to run the ball a lot more. So I feel good about, and well, that's one of our weaknesses, but I just think the attacking the line of scrimmage defense that Brian Flores is going to employ this year gives us a good matchup against that offense. I don't think any defense has a good matchup against us with all the weapons that we have. Jordan Addison looks great. KJ Osborne looks like he's taking a step forward. Justin Jefferson is all world. We've bolstered the running game with a few sneaky position additions like Josh Oliver. I just love it. I love that what we've done with our offense this offseason, and just to bolster it, it's better than it was last year, and it was ranked 7th. So and they were ranked 15th on defense. So let's go. They don't cause turnovers. I think we will. That's going to be the big difference in the game. Is we'll have 2 turnovers, they'll have none, or we'll cause 2 turnovers, they'll cause none, and we'll win this game handily. I'm going to be there September 10th, coming to the game. Let's go. Let's go. Minnesota Vikings win this one. We'll have more videos about it the rest of the week or early next week. And then I'm on vacation and I'll meet you guys September 9th at Skullfest. Let's go. Cue the music.